Do you want to answer the age-old question about the Rakshasas and the Vanaras? I've asked this to a lot of guests. No one's given me a solid answer till date. So,
Sure.
after all your study, what do you make of the Rakshasas and the
And the
Vanaras?
Vanaras. Sure. And in fact, see, again, the reference text is the Valmiki Ramayana. That is the Itihas. So, who were the Vanaras? If that is the question, then let's look at what Maharshi Valmiki has told us about this. Well, where's the question? Vanar means bandar, monkey. And Valmiki has also used the words Hari, Kapi, Lavangamaha, Shakha Mrugaha, all of which means monkey. Also, there are so many stories about the Vanara's tail. Right? However, Valmiki's words will make it clear, and I'll give you many references. Tell me how deep you want to go. But there is no doubt that the Vanaras were humans, that they were not a different race, and they had the same cultural and intellectual roots as the people of the cities. So, the first question, whether they were humans or not, and their tail, right? The first time the Vanaras come onto the scene is when Ram and Lakshman are looking for Sita. They come south near Hampi, Rishyamukh mountain. Sugriv and Hanuman are standing on the mountain and they see these two coming, and Sugriv is suspicious because they are dressed as ascetics, but they're carrying bows and arrows, so they are armed. And he says, this is suspicious. He tells Hanuman to go and talk to them. And interestingly, he says, Prakrite naiva gatva. Go in your natural form. And then, Kapirupam parityajya. Bhikshurupam tato bheje. Hanuman gave up his monkey attire and went dressed as an ascetic. Okay? So, first clue that their natural form is not the monkey form. Prakrite naiva gatva. Kapirupam parityajya. It's something that he could take off. Another clue. You would have heard the story of Ravan setting fire, asking his people to set fire to Hanuman's tail. In that incident, Ravan says, Kapinang kilalangulam ishtam bhavati bhushanam. This tail that the Vanaras have is very dear to them. It's their ornament, abhushan. Kapinang kilalangulam ishtam bhavati bhushanam. It's an ornament, obviously something that they put on. There are other references also where the Vanaras take off and put on their attire. For example, when Hanuman comes to meet Bharat, right at the end, he comes to Ayodhya, he takes off the monkey attire. And before the war, Ram gives a clear instruction to all the Vanaras, do not take off your monkey attire because we should know who's on which side. This is going to be a terrible war, a man-to-man combat. And so in order to know, we should know who is on which side. Don't take off your attire. So as far as the tail goes, it's an ornament. It's something that they put on. Now let's look further. The words that Valmiki has used for the Vanaras. Apart from what I said earlier, Vanar, Kapi, Hari, Plavangamaha, Shakhamurgaha. By the way, all of these words are actually adjectives. So when we say that they are used to denote monkeys, the word Vanar actually means Vanamrati iti Vanaraha. Those who draw sustenance from the Vana are called Vanar. Plavangamaha, which is used for monkeys, means those who jump. So if they are humans who also draw sustenance from the forest, humans who are also adept at jumping and leaping, you can use the same words for them. Also, Valmiki has also used the words Jana, Nari, Stri and Purush to denote the Vanaras. Kishkinda, their capital city, is called Rishta Pushta Jana Kirna, full of happy and healthy people, Jana. He has also called them Vanavasinaha, Vanaukasaha, Kananaukasaha, which means forest-dwelling people. So these were humans, no doubt, but they put on a dress, like even today some forest dwellers would put on feathers or horns. That was their attire that they could take out.
So effectively, when we are visualizing Hanumanji, actually it was a sage who would put on the gear which made him look sort of like a monkey, an
Yes.
ape. But he was probably a sage.
He was Sarva Shastra Visharadaha. He knew all the Shastras. He was an expert in the Shastras and the Vedas. And this also points to, descriptions like this also point to the fact that they were not culturally different. See, sometimes we believe that forest dwelling communities are different from the city dwelling people. But here, Valmiki gives two references. One, some of the Vanaras were born to rishis. Okay? Just like, say, Ravan. Ravan was also born to a rishi. People of Ayodhya were also born to rishis. And some of the Vanaras were also born to rishis. He has given specific examples also. That there was this Vanar called Archishman. He was born to a rishi called Marichi, etc. So they were not a different race. He has also said at times that Rikshishu cha tatha jatah vanaraha. Some of the Vanaras were born to Riksha, which is bears. Now, if you say that Vanar actually means monkeys, this phrase would mean that monkeys were born to bears. But that's absurd. Obviously, what Valmiki is saying as people who dressed like bears gave birth to people who dressed like Vanars.